Hey, welcome everybody to the stream. It's Friday afternoon for me, late afternoon. So I figured I found an article, and I figured we'd cover some of the points here. We'll do a little Q&A, and we'll take it from there. So let me just get to the piece. All right, here we go. Let me get this up here. All right, so Quora piece. What are the top 3 languages to master in order to build a strong foundation in programming? Once again, I'll read the piece and then I will give you my personal opinions on things and we'll take it from there. A simple but effective answer. Python. Learn Python first. It's known as an introductory language and taught to beginners all over the world, including top universities. Number 2. Then learn C++. After C++, you'll be like, oh, these are the stuff that I'd taken for granted. They had to automate this complex in Python for me, Then you go down. 3rd, JavaScript. Why, you ask? Well, you got to know how weird a language can be, right? Sometimes one language might serve you till your death, but knowing another might unfold your perceptions about any language. If you want to go deeper, learn C, the mother of them all. Well, Assembler is, I think. And the fastest. But with these 3 languages mentioned above, you can do anything from web to cross-platform software, machine learning, AI, visualization, everything. So let's see what some people have to say. They're a little older, but these concepts are still good. You ask for a strong foundation in programming. Well, programming is a craft of telling a computer what to do. You need to understand what is involved in that procedure. That is how interpret fundamental. How to interpret the fundamental, you meant to say. Learn C and do some experimentation with assembly. Why? Because they abstract less than other languages and introduce you deeply into the reality of how computers work. Who am I to tell you that? I am a computer engineer with a master's in heterogeneous embedded system, pursuing my PhD in system security. Translation, he is an academic. Not good, not good. I would say, this guy says, Patricia says, Patricia, excuse me. I would also suggest learning a bit of assembly after C++ if you are passionate about this field. Assembly to me has a big eye-opener in terms, has been a big eye-opener in terms of how data is manipulated at its lowest feasible level. Perhaps I also found it interesting because I am a hardware enthusiast. Let's see what other people say. Another option may be to go bottom up and learn C first, because then it will only get easier and more awesome with C++ features. So you'll love C++. And Python does everything for you, so you will enjoy it more in comparison. Also, you're going to understand C++ better if you already know the basics of C. Is a subset of C++, so you can truly comprehend C++. You can't truly comprehend C++ without C. All right, so let me just comment on this. Let me go back here. All right. So first of all, academic nerds, number 1. Number 2, the problem with the academics is that they don't consider work, realities of work. They think too low level and abstract. So let me give you an example of that. First of all, if your goal is to be a web developer, C++ concepts and stuff will only help in a very marginal way, It's a different game. It's a totally different game altogether. It's like saying learning to, to pilot a sailboat is going to make you a great, so, great at driving high-powered speedboats or something. They're boats, but they're very different in terms of what they do, in terms of skill sets required. Low-level coder who's building, gaming engines, AI core frameworks, IoT code, Very different game, very different mindset from somebody who is, I don't know, building a web app, building a mobile app. Yeah, it's weird. If you want to become, it's weird rather in the sense that developers think a little bit too broadly perhaps, and they ignore reality of the situation. If you want to be a web developer, study the web development languages. If you want to be a mobile developer, study the mobile development frameworks and languages. If you want to do low-level code, C, assembler, C++. So it really depends on what you want to do. That being said, as I've said in many other streams, once you've learned one language, to pivot to the next will be much easier. And then subsequently to pivot to the third and the fourth and the fifth language, etc., will become subsequently easier and easier and easier, because you're going to find very similar basic logic, basic constructs in all of these languages. So it's interesting. For me, when my suggested top three, and there's two I agree with there, would be Python, JavaScript, and if you're interested in freelance work, web work, then PHP. If I was interested in enterprise development, I would go maybe C#, maybe Java. If I was interested in, like I said, IoT coding, small device coding, building game engines, high-performance code, C++. So it all comes down to what type of programming you want to do. There's no universal language. For example, if you're writing assemblers like super low level, meaning very close to the CPU, but being an assembler coder is not going to help you a whit at all. Being a mobile developer or being a web developer. So, it really has to be weighted according to what it is, what it is you want to end up doing in terms of the type of coding you want to do. So keep that in mind. That's why, where is this here? If I have my, it's free, link below, Career Coders Path webinar, 29-minute video, where I will show you what kind of job you will get depending on the language that you use. So if you're a C++ coder, you'll work on certain types of projects. If you're a JavaScript programmer, you're going to work on different types of projects. If you're a Python programmer, again, most likely different kinds of programming you're going to do. But not only is the type of programming going to be different, the language oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes impacts what type of companies, what type of businesses you find yourself working for. So for example, if you're writing Java or C#, likely you'll be working for larger enterprise level businesses. If you're writing PHP and JavaScript, there's much more flexibility there. PHP, a lot of small business is using PHP. So it really depends on what it is you're doing. So anyway, the Coder's Career Path webinar, 29-minute video for free to sign up to the newsletter, and you'll get immediate access to that. Very informative for people just getting into coding. So there you go. That's my first little plug. Yeah, free. I don't know if it's a plug if it's free, but anyway. So I'll get to some questions. I hope that was... And PHP, you forgot good old dead PHP. Yeah, well, PHP, like I said. Hello, watching from San Diego, learning how to web dev. Hey, how are you, man? I'll see you Sunday. Is learning to code hard? No, not if you follow what I teach. Linus, Torvald said, the front end is a joke. As someone getting started with front end, this disappointed me. What is your take on this? Linus is a nerd. Tell that to Instagram. Is that a joke company? Facebook, is that a joke company? Those are just two examples. YouTube. Those are three examples of mega successful businesses where really the reason they're successful is because of the front end. The front end is easy to navigate. It's well laid out. You know, they ain't perfect, that's for sure. But front end it's a silly comment to say front end is a joke. You know, he created Linus is famous because he basically created a free version of Unix. He copied Unix and called Linux as, you know, Linus as his name, and he gave it away, and that's fantastic. But you know, there he is. There it is. We'll leave it at that. Hey, Stefan, tuning in from London. All right, welcome to stream. I love your shows, dude. The first time I've been able to attend a live stream. Hey, very cool. Well, thanks for joining the stream. I hope you like it. Watching from London, UK. Cool. Nowadays, if I had to use JavaScript, Javelin or Kotlin, but C++ is still my mainstay. That's cool, Louise. You see, everybody has to figure out the type of programming that you want to do. That's one of the beautiful things about programming, in that it can, there's such variations in the field in terms of the type of work that you do, that people who are very detailed oriented could find a great space like C++. Some people want to do maybe have a more artistic expression of code. They can find themselves doing a JS with Vue or React or something, where you're working on front end stuff, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of flexibility there, depending on your psychology. Greetings from Barcelona, Spain. Hey, thanks for joining the stream, dude. What else do we got here? Let's go. Hey, aloha, Christy. How are you? Anyone use the Julia language here? I have not personally, but I'm sure perhaps somebody has. Hello, Aleski. Welcome. Gorbachev. Very cool. That's a name I know for obvious reason. Welcome to the stream. El Haji Babakar Sisse. I don't know if I said that right. Well, I'm doing well. I hope you are doing well as well. Hey, it's Hologram Nunchuck. How are you, man? Hope everything is well. See, that's a sure sign. You want to check if somebody's a nerd, they can do this like instantly. Whew. That's a sure sign you're a nerd. If you can do double at the same time instantly, that means you're like uber nerd. You're nerd squared if you can do that. From Turkey, hey man, how are you? It's 11:14 p.m. here. All right, so not too late. Hey Arthur, how are you, man? Hello from the UK. How are you? I'm doing great. Hope things are good. Great timing from the UK. Would you consider podcasts? I love to listen to your shows. You have a great radio voice. Thanks. I want to do a podcast, but can somebody says you can't hear? Sam says he cannot hear me. Can you guys hear me? I hope people can hear me. Let me scroll down. I need some thumbs up to appease our algorithm overlords of Google. Exactly. Yeah, let me know if you can say, yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Let me know in the comments. I'm assuming you guys can hear me. I hope so. I've been talking for 20 minutes. Yeah, do you use Red camera, Stef? No, I don't. I'm using a Canon Cinema camera. Hey, how are you, man? I'm good. I hope everything is good. You're good. I did it with my left hand, so I guess I am a nerd. There you go. Okay, we can hear you. Okay, good. People can hear me. So if you can hear me, it's too bad. It's too bad for you. All right, good. So you can hear me. All right, good. Thanks for the thumbs, guys. Hi, Stefan. What do you have to say about two-language problem? How do you get both performance C++ and ease of use, example Python? That's a good question. Depends what you want to do. Like PHP is much faster than Python, but PHP is a specialty language for the web. You may want to look at C#. That might be a middle ground for you. You might want to look at C#. You might want to look at Java. Not the, middle ground. You can try that out. But I don't think you can get both ends at the same time. You sound as smooth as Malbec. All right, good. Yeah, I can hear you now, no problem. Okay, good. All right, good. JavaScript is the best. Hey, I am from India, so what you suggest, me learn development or just go with Django and React? Let the jobs dictate, man, and what you like to do. James is Nerd Square. We got decades of training to do this. Oof. You know. Hey. Hey there, I have a question. What skills a person needs to master web scraping? Look at Python. That's probably your best choice for web scraping. You have to know HTTP. You have to know the basics of the web, of course. HTML. CSS maybe a little bit. JavaScript maybe a little bit. But look at Python. Python's got some good libraries there. If I master one language, will it be easy for me to learn a new language? 100%. You learn the second language in a fraction of the time. I am a beginner. I'm sure he's saying. Which programming language I use first? I am from Pakistan. I would say start with Python. It's probably the easiest one to approach. Now that I know the basics of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, should I learn a front-end framework like React or learn a back-end technology first? Good question. It depends on the type of work you want to do. If you were to say I want to go freelance, I would say learn back-end because it's going to open up a lot of job opportunities for you. If you wanted to be a specialist in the front end, then go with React or Vue. Arthur says PHP is not web only. That's true. You can write scripts in Vish just as bash scripts. That's also true. We do that. Or other console scripts. PHP can operate on files, which is great. This is also true. These are also true. But when I make a comment, Arthur, about you can actually use PHP for machine learning. I've seen PHP implemented in machine learning environments. Not often that it's used, but it's very capable in that regard. Well, it's very capable in terms of its broad-based language. But when I say PHP is basically the web language, I'm also considering the market. Like the vast majority of PHP is going to be web app development. And I guess there's some server stuff. Like we'll have PHP scripts running and we'll use crons on the server to fire them off to do certain things. Python and beautiful soup to web scrape, exactly. Yeah. With JavaScript, you can develop using React and React Native. This is true. Hey man, Vishal, hope everything is well. Take care of yourself in India. I hear what's going on out there with COVID. Stay safe. If you know what a Borg cube is, then you truly are a nerd. This is true. Yes, I second that. Just built a custom search engine in Python. Beautiful soup and Flask. So there you go. There's your answer. I'm going to get that Discord thing going. I'll try to maybe do it this weekend because there's a lot of guys here who know stuff and you can teach each other. Golang is easy to use, still compiled, but compiled so fast it might be as well be a scripting language. That's interesting. Vishal, I would do Python probably. With JavaScript, you can master front-end, React Native, and back-end Node. That's also true. Hello, I want to make career in IT. Which language should I start with? Python. I would do Python. JavaScript's also a good choice. I teach both, so I have no, what's the word I'm looking for? I have no motivation to promote one over the other. I think Python's probably just easier for a few reasons. Hey, Prakash, love from Nepal. That's cool. Yeah, love back at you from Canada. The sun's going away, so we're getting a dark screen. Hold on a second. Hold on. There we go. I got the sun coming in here, so it's affecting the lighting on the cinema camera. All right, so what else we got here? What is NodeJS? NodeJS is JavaScript on the server. It's an engine from Google, and it basically allows you to run JavaScript on the web server. That's all. So you have to know your web first. Stef, Just a quick question. Do you know if Laravel has more security in terms of authentication than Symfony? I couldn't say. I haven't looked at Symfony in years. I can tell you that Node authentication is pretty good. So, is C++ almost a must when developing 3D games? I'm not sure. You know, I think I would just license or use some engine. I wouldn't be building my own engine. I would just use an engine. So I think I'm not sure how, you know, you might want to look at Unity. I don't know if Unity, it's a game engine. You use C#. I don't know if it supports 3D or not. So you might want to check into that. Love from Mexico. Hello, Pablo Caram. Welcome to the stream, dude. And thanks everybody for the thumbs up. Much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, I try to come on daily now. Except the weekends, although you may catch me on weekend streams where I answer questions. I've been a developer since the 1990s. I worked on projects for Avantis, Merck, major banks, major pharmaceuticals, major telcos, and my own SaaS, my own products. And I just try to download my life experience or upload it to your brains so you don't have to spend 10, 20 years trying to figure out all this stuff that I figured out. That's what I do here, just in case you're new. Hey, I am a really bad hoe in programming. I've lost so much motivation in the past few months, and I'm wondering what can I do to pick myself back up? Good question. That's one of the things I teach here. I have a background, my major in university was psychology, so I have something for free for you. You should sign up now. Link is below. Go to Lizard Wizard KOMODO. You sign up and you get the daily, I call them spells, and they're little psychology training tasks that you should do, but help you train your brain, help you capture your emotions, take control of yourself. And Lizard Wizard KOMODO will help a lot. This is free. It's based though on this course here, Lizard Wizard, which is not free. You have to buy me a couple coffees. But this will teach you everything from dating to your gut feelings, how to master your emotions, how to communicate better, how to feel good about coding, how to be a faster learner. So you may want to take a look at that. But yeah, take a look at the Lizard Wizard. This is a free training that I provide. Whoa, getting bright again. Hold on. Sun. Sun. Messing up my live streams. All right, there we go. Okay, so that's what I would do. So in a nutshell, one of the reasons I find people lose it when it comes to coding and programming is because they hit that coder's wall. There's this barrier to entry to sort of understand some basic concepts especially. And it's probably not your fault because most code courses are put out by people who don't know how to teach. Teaching is a skill, right? It's a skill, there's a technique. There's a talent to it. I know because I come from a family of teachers. My father's a teacher. Maybe in my immediate many of my cousins and aunts and uncles. In my immediate family, 15 people or so are teachers. Could be, I don't know, I lost track now. So you get the idea. So I can tell you, it's cliche, I hear this all the time. It's because most of the code courses, not all, I'm sure there's good ones out there, but most of them are taught by people who, A, have never taught before, so they don't know how to teach. So they put out poorly designed and delivered courses so people have trouble learning and understanding. They think, oh, I'm just dumb, I'm terrible. No, it's typically, not always, but it's typically because of bad course. There's good ones out there, don't get me wrong, but there's a sea of bad ones. So, you know, just buyer beware. I'm just letting you know about that. That's the number one thing why I think people have problems. Also, you have to understand coding, it's going to be hard. It's going to be walking. It's like walking in the wet sand, you know, or walking in deep snow if you're from a snowy country like Canada. It's hard at first. So you just got to give yourself, I always suggest off the top of my head, 20 minutes a day. You say, I'm going to do 20 minutes every day, 4 to 5 days a week. Just 20 minutes. Even if you got it on those days you don't feel like it, just do 20 minutes. It's a psychological trick. It's a psychological hack. It's lizard brain aware. If you don't know what that is, check out the Lizard Wizard course. And it's going to really help you plow through. Trust me, one day you wake up and you go, I understand all of a sudden. And then once you understand, you can never lose it. So take your time. Don't worry, it will come. You have been assimilated. Resistance is futile. Yeah, you're a nerd, buddy. There's no question about that. Yeah, this is the official nerd secret hands technique. Like I said, this is proof. If you can do it, you got to do it like instantly. If you have to do it like this, you're not a real nerd. This is the key. And if you can do it double at the same time, 2 guns, you're nerd squared. So that's important. Very important. I don't hire anybody unless they can do this, and it has to be quick. I am a fan of JavaScript because you can develop web, mobile, desktop apps, never obsolete. 100% you can do all those things. Very flexible language. I am Victor from Barcelona. Hello, Victor. I am Stefan from Montreal. I am studying digital marketing plus business management. Which languages would you start with if you want to become an entrepreneur? I built some things with HTML, CSS, PHP. I was just going to suggest those are great choices because most of the work you're going to do is going to be web-based. So if you understand the web languages, I would throw in some JavaScript in there. Away you go. If you look below this video, you'll see a little gift I have. Friday afternoon gift for you guys. So you can check that out. Just below this video, a Friday afternoon gift. Yeah. All right. We're at 200 people. 201. Thanks for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. It's good for the algorithms. When I was doing the show more regularly 6-8 months ago, we would get 300 people or more on regular streams. So I just want to build it back up again because I'm vain that way. I'm vain that way. So I appreciate it when you give the thumbs up. Coding, college for coding, only if it's free or nearly free and you're young. Do not go into debt for coding. Better to do training with me or some other source because you don't necessarily need a degree to get a job as a developer. It doesn't hurt, but you don't need it. I'm not the only one that says that, okay? What else do we got here? Should I start learning web development when there are websites like WordPress, Wix? Of course, because WordPress and Wix and many of these other solutions are just tools that you'll use. Sometimes a site you can use Wix, and sometimes you have to use WordPress, and sometimes you have to build from scratch. They're all good. Like I have a SaaS product, and but we still use WordPress as well, right? So let me just show you. Hold on. Desktop. Is that going to come in? Come on. All right. Okay. Hold on a second. There we go. So I have a SaaS product. Well, the store itself. But we still use WordPress for our blogs, right? So we have a full store. We have an interactive training platform here. All kinds of schools use it. But I still use WordPress, like this blog. We've developed our own blog software in the past, but this blog here is WordPress. So we just integrate it in there. So just because there's a WordPress, it doesn't mean that traditional web development is going to go away. So I wouldn't be too concerned about that. In fact, I tell this story. I remember when WordPress started really gaining a lot of ground, and a lot of web designers at the time were really scared about, oh my God, WordPress, oh, no more web development. Oh, it's done, it's over. Drupal, another CMS, content management system, was getting pretty big. Joomla, Drupal, and WordPress though was king. Those other two have fallen away. But anyway, it didn't change anything. In fact, the demand for web developers, web professionals has only increased. The type of work that you do slowly changes over time, but it doesn't change the fact that there's a huge demand. So I would not be worried about that at all. Let me know, guys, if the sound is good, if you like the sound. I'm using my Neumann mic. People always ask, what equipment do you use? I use a Canon cinema camera, and I use a Neumann mic. And I hope the image looks pretty good for you guys. All right. Unreal Engine uses C++. Unity uses C#. With Godot, you can use both. Okay, very cool. Thanks, Louise. There you go. So Unreal is the 3D engine. It's behind many games, as far as I understand. Unity is an engine. I don't know if it supports 3D or not. Maybe Louise can participate in that. Let us know. Yeah. So yeah, to answer another question, I'm gonna set up. I'll try to do it this weekend. The Discord server, so you guys can interact when I'm not streaming. You missed my question, he says. Okay, I'll look up Mr. Unknown. I'll try. No guarantee. Write your question again, though, and I will see. Here it is. I got it. If I master one language, will it be easy for me to learn a new language? Yeah, I've answered that question, of course, big time. With every new question that you, every new language that you do, it becomes easier and easier to learn. In my professional career, I have made money or been paid to write code 8 or 9 languages over the years. I say 8 or 9 because I forget the exact number. So C#, lots of Java, PHP, Ruby, Python. Did I ever get paid to do Python, or I just use it for script? I forget. Perl, Phoebe script, Visual Fox Pro, some lingo, some other weird languages. So yeah, but I would learn a language within a couple of days. So that's, again, that's another one of the mythologies I'm trying to break. One of the top myths of development is that that you're going to learn the wrong language. It just doesn't exist. So don't worry about that. All right. If you compile a py file, to exe, I like how that rhymes. It's going to run slow as exe file. What can you say about that? I don't know. I would have to look at how Python is creating that exe. It's probably just a wrapper, so it still has to, I don't know. I don't think it's compiling down to C or anything. I would have to see. Do you recommend NodeJS or Deno.js? Good question. If I had total liberty from the work, I wasn't concerned about getting a job, then I would say probably Deno, since the creator of Deno is the same guy who created Node, and he found that Node became so difficult to work with that he decided to create Deno. So I've never used Deno. I don't know. But I say you have to look at the job consideration, or because I don't know how many jobs there are for Deno. So if you're doing this for job purposes, look at the job opportunities first and decide from there. But I hear, and I've never used, but I hear Deno is cleaner, easier to use, no dependency problems and so forth. So there you go. I looked at Node.js, I don't know, a few years ago, whatever it was, and the packages were such a mess, and the environment, if you will, the ecosystem was such a mess. I didn't want to get involved with that. So I stuck with PHP Laravel, because it's just cleaner. And apparently the Node.js creator created Deno for the same reasons. He found it was too messy. Unity supports 2D and 3D games, so there you go. You might find, I'm just guessing, I think you might find C# Unity to be more productive as a solo coder, as opposed to going Unreal, but you may not have the same. I would imagine Unreal is more performant. That is my guess. Will you ever make a Java course? Oh, I don't know. I have to think about that. It's ironic that I never did, since I've written more lines of Java than any other language. That fifth spell was a tough one. Was it? Yeah, I got more spells. I just have to edit them. I'll try to edit them this weekend. I'll start releasing the spells 6, 7, and 8, in fact. Stef, why do you hate .NET Core? I don't hate .NET Core. I just haven't used .NET in a long time. So no, but I do not hate it. Godot is amazing, getting close to a commercial engine. Congratulations. Very cool. I really care more about tech than making money. I find the more I deal with normal, the more depressed I feel. That's interesting. Yeah, well, you have to find what's good for you, Everybody's different. So I support you in whatever you do, but as a suggestion, it's good to balance, right? That's something I learned from the Chinese. Decades ago, I got very sick, so I went to Chinese herbalism, and anyway, I learned a lot from him. And so maybe if you're very introverted, maybe it'd be good to do some lizard wizard training and practice being a little bit extroverted. It will make you a more balanced person. It will balance your brain a little bit, which will make you a more flexible developer and a more capable developer over time. But I understand. Hi, Stef. In 2021, NodeJS or PHP? And could you share some good resources about how to develop a WordPress for WordPress themes and plugins? Maybe you can make a video about it. Yeah, it depends what you want to do. Like, I prefer PHP because it's just cleaner, I found. But I'm sure Node people would argue with me on that. I would say spend a week on Node, spend a week on PHP, and see what you like best and take it from there. They're both good opportunities. Good resource about how to develop WordPress. In one of my packages, we have a WordPress theme course. It teaches the basics, but it's an older one. But I believe it's still relevant because the theming structure has not changed. Plugins, though, I don't know any good courses of plugins, but if you're going to do WordPress plugins, you have to learn your PHP. If your goal is to be WordPress centric, then 100% PHP, because PHP is created with WordPress. And you want to develop plugins, you got to know PHP. So yeah, check below the stream. There's a gift for you guys if you're interested in the PHP course or any of the courses really. What's the value of learning TypeScript, CoffeeScript, etc., as opposed to vanilla JavaScript? You learn those if you find, those are what I would characterize them as need to nerd technologies, Devin. Meaning you learn them if there's an opportunity to use them for a job or a particular project. They bring different levels of, I'll say, for lack of words, you can if you write with TypeScript and CoffeeScript, I haven't looked at CoffeeScript in a long time, but with TypeScript, it brings, in layman's terms, allows you to write cleaner code, which means easier to debug. And it will abstract away or facade away, if you will, some of the weirdness of JavaScript. But I'll leave you to look at that. C++, Lafalal, boom, boom, boom. Should I just do this as a hobby? No. Why not make money with what you like? One of the things that I suggest is find what you like to do and figure out how to make money with it. Because what happens then, your job it's not a job. It's just like your hobbies. Pick the thing that you like doing a lot that you can make money with and do that. Imagine what your life would be like if you're actually doing your hobby for work. Life's a lot more fun, right? Life's a lot more fun. David has some advice. You deserve 1 million subscribers, Stef. I do. I got to complain. Ooh, yeah, you might have gotten the echo in there of the mic, sorry. I appreciate that. I was a fan of Python and still love it, but the big problem with Python is finding a decent library for building modern GUI applications. So I was a bit disappointed. For me, JavaScript is the king. Yeah, Python does have GUI, but people use Python more or less for server automation, AI, data science, that kind of stuff. Teaching with, it's a gluing language, if you will. If you want to do GUI and so forth, yeah, there are much better options, I think. Hi, Stefan, which language is best for regex from your experience? I've only done regex I've done it with PHP, JavaScript, and Java. But the regex implementations are regex implementations. I don't know enough about each of the implementations to make a suggestion. Regex, for people out there, regex is kind of archaic. I guess it's a programming language, I guess. It is. It's the ultimate text parsing technology you can find out there. And it's very, very archaic stuff. You gotta, yeah, it's powerful, but it's very archaic stuff. But it's so important that all the languages support regex in some form or another. Python is overrated. Let's see. Does college teach software development? Yes, of course they do. Hector, no, I'm not a C++ programmer, so I'm not something I would want to approach. Stefan, bonjour Stefan. Bonjour Stef, excuse me. I have an interest in blockchain development and decided to try out Rust. Very interesting so far. Well, I have to tell you, Danielle, my buddy, who is a highly experienced C++ coder, he hates C++. He says the only reason he would do C++ would be to support legacy. That's him. It's not my opinion. It's his opinion. That being said, he loves Rust. He said he would use Rust over C++ anytime. So take it for what it is. This is a guy who's been writing C++ for about 15 years. Stef is right. Even in universities, there are teachers that suck at teaching, and in consequence, people think programming is really hard. It's in the beginning, but it's most persistent. Yeah, don't let the early hurdles of programming dissuade you. I came at programming from a totally designer's point of view. So it wasn't like super easy for me. Just keep at it, do that 20 minutes a day. And as I said, most of the time, it's not you, it's the course. So just keep going, man. No need to apologize about technical disagreements. Just keep it cordial. I do appreciate it, Bailey, but no need to apologize. We can all be, we can have different opinions and still be friends, right? Hey, Steph, any advice for changing careers? Been coding for 12 months now, and it's my passion, but trying to change careers from 8 years in accounting to back-end engineer. I would transition into it. So I would try to find side jobs, little freelancing gigs, so you can start getting some real-world experience as a developer. The fact that you have an accounting background will actually make your job the fact that you have an accounting background will make it easier, believe it or not, to get a job as a back-end engineer over time. Especially you might find yourself as like the head developer in a large accounting firm, as an example. Since you know the domain, the accounting domain, you would be a very natural fit for them. Or a company that does accounting software. You would be a natural fit. So I would do a couple of side projects, and then I would start with those side projects done. Then you can start putting out your resume so you can transition into the new profession. All right? So you teach algorithms and data structures in the languages themselves, Python, JavaScript. I teach the basics of data structures. So you learn about data types, you learn about array, you learn how to manipulate array, which is basically algorithms. In the upcoming pro versions of the course, I'm going to create a few specific lessons on those things and make it very obvious, not implicit. Right now they're in there, but it's implicit. That being said, algorithms and data structures are in 95 to 97% of programming are tertiary in importance. You just need to know your basics. That's it. The only time they become very important is when you're getting into very advanced things like AI, machine learning, maybe game dev or something. Being able to refactor code and understanding design patterns is far, far, far more important for most programming versus algorithms and data structures. That's just my experience going back to the 90s. It depends on the type of programming that you do, but most programming, algorithms, data structures are not so more important. You don't really have to know about it. Any complex algorithms are probably expressed in objects that you can just use and just plug into. So that's why I don't really emphasize that so much. My job as a teacher, besides to simplify, is to filter all the stuff that you don't really need to know to get going quickly. But once you learn the basics, to learn algorithms on your own is pretty easy. So answer is I do, but when will pro courses come out, Stef? Enjoy your weekend. Very soon. Very soon. I have them actually planned out. They're just, basically I have my foundation courses, which I update from time to time when need be. So it's kind of like HTML5. HTML5 came out years ago, and they're not going to come out with an HTML6. It's HTML5. That's it. So my foundation courses, they're foundation courses. That's it. You know, because the foundations don't change very often, and especially now because technology is kind of plateauing in terms of its evolution, in terms of the core languages. The pro courses are wrappers around the foundation courses with some extra stuff, really targeted at people looking to get jobs and so forth. Although, you check out my reviews, just go Studioweb, Google Studioweb, Montreal, Studioweb, Stefan Mishak. You'll see all my reviews about my current courses. You see you get jobs like this. So, yeah, they're coming out very soon. Hologram Labs. Godot even has a NIM binding, but don't tell Stefan. Oh boy, secrets out. Nerd squared. Okay. Yeah. I took a C++ intro course in college as an elective, and I thought it wasn't for me. Now I've been coding VBA and Python at a very entry level as a data specialist for about a year, and I love it. So there you go. Exactly. Except for basics like, you know, what an object is or a variable is and a function is. The similarities are very, the obvious similarities between VBA and Python are not, but you can get some very good paying jobs as a VBA developer, believe it or not, or as a Python developer, of course. There you go. Yeah. My gift below, coupons, whatever you want, they're there. Take advantage. Good one too. And people know I don't put them out often. I put them out, but not often. Okay, college for data. You mean data scientist? Well, yeah, I would imagine. So I'm not a data scientist, but I'm assuming that you need some sort of piece of paper to be a data scientist. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. All right, 2:30. 170. If you like the stream, give me a thumbs up, guys. Let me know. Tell people about it too. I want to build up this show, and I know it's self-aggrandizing. I know, but I just want to build it up because I enjoy doing these streams. I do intend to do podcasts out of them. I think I'm going to release them as podcasts now that I'm getting things together, but we'll see. Hi, Stefan. I'm Sean from Vancouver, finishing up third year of CS degree. Good job so far, Sean. And I can't find an internship. Should I just finish my degree ASAP, or is the internship important? Finish your degree, but what you could do on the side is put up a website. Thanks for the thumbs, guys. Put up a website and then go out there and offer to do some free work for somebody. Don't have to go for, just go to Upwork even. Whatever. Install a WordPress blog. Set up their Shopify. Set up their PayPal card. Whatever. The key is to get some real world work experience. Okay? So just keep hammering away. It's the numbers game, and you'll make it. Okay? Check back in 1 week. Let us know how it goes. If you want to develop some psychological power, go to where is it? Go to here. Go to links below. Lizard Wizard KOMODO. Free, and you're gonna get every 3 days in email. You're gonna get some psychological trainings, which are pretty powerful. It will help you with all that. So check that out. It's part of the 360 training I give you guys. Give you the code training, the business training, the job training. Give you the psychology and communications training. I even have a money training. Everything's there. I'm just downloading my decades of experience into your brains, so you don't have to spend 20, 30 years figuring all this crap out. You got it all right away for yourselves, if you want it. Is there a course to learn how to improve code quality, scalability, and complexity? Yeah, go, link below. There's some books that I highly recommend. There's one book, it's called Refactoring. There's a Java version, a JavaScript version, but it's applicable to any language. Highly, highly recommend that you take that. I usually have it beside me. I don't have it beside me right now. But I highly recommend that you get that book because it's going to level up your game fast. Refactoring is a very important skill set in software development. More important than algorithms knowledge, more important than data structure knowledge beyond the basics. Refactoring is huge. It will teach you how to write good code, how to make your code better. Second, there's a book down below, listed below on design patterns. Design patterns, super important development. Super important development. After you know your fundamentals, I tell people refactor, learn refactoring, and learn design patterns. If you want to level up your game, increase the code quality, etc., etc. That will level you up faster than anything else. Which site is good for real Python? What do you mean by real Python? Check out my Python course. You learn object-oriented Python, you learn file manipulation, you learn how to build simple games, you learn the basic language constructs, you learn about good coding practices. Sound is perfect. Cool. Good, good. I hope. All right, so I'll keep using this mic. People seem to like it overall best. How are we doing for time? Almost an hour. Time flies. Where do you find freelance gigs or contracts? There's there's like freelance.com, Upwork. That's one place you could try. Local businesses you could try. All these different things. I hope that discussion doesn't get bored with you. I don't know what that is. I started with PHP, JS only in front end, with jQuery, and I didn't like it at first. But with NodeJS, I have to learn JS deeply. Now I love it. When I embraced its weirdness, I fell in love with it. Very cool. Unreal is a frames per second engine only. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Christy gets the joke. Stefan, do you have a pilot's license? No, I don't. I have a driver's license. I hear you guys are about to sell their kidneys for a new M1 Max. I hear, guys, which one do you prefer, iMac or MacBook? If I was a developer working freelance, that kind of thing, then I'd probably get a MacBook. Because I do a lot more, spreadsheet stuff and video stuff, I prefer the iMac. But they're both pretty good choices, I used to use strictly laptops for like 15 years. There's nothing wrong with being introverted, just learn to communicate effectively with others. Yeah, pretty much, I agree. Miss my question. I'll try. No promises. I'm scrolling up. So I got my first vaccine shot up here in Canada. And so all of a sudden now I feel like using Windows a lot more. I'm not sure why, but it's a strange feeling. I can't find the question. Post it again. If you do anything except data science, do yourself a favor. Don't use Python. Mohammed M. Hilal says, hey, Stefan, do you recommend PHP, Node.js, or Django? I know Python Flask, but here where I live, there isn't many jobs for Python JS. PHP is more in demand, but I have cold feet from going for PHP. We use PHP in Studioweb. Again, you point out what so many people getting into the coding game are surprised by is how prevalent and how popular PHP is. If you listen to the YouTube nerd community, you'd figure that nobody's using PHP, but it's super popular. Try it out. It's very productive software. It's very capable. And with PHP 8, I'm about to release a video on PHP 8, go over some of the new features. They've really done some work on streamlining the code and the syntax and made it a little bit more consistent. And PHP 8 has just-in-time compilation now. Now, PHP 8 in terms of runtime is much faster than Python, much faster than Ruby. It might be much faster, or at least as fast as JavaScript. That I'm not sure about. I haven't checked the latest. But with just-in-time compilation, PHP 8, who knows where that's going to go, right? I have to check to see how fast that is. So give it a chance. See what it is. You know, you got to give new stuff a little bit of a chance before you say yay or nay to it. That's what I suggest. Python is a great language to know regardless of what you want to do. It's simple to learn and really good for automation. Yeah, that's where Python shines. I'll tell you a story. Like, a good friend of mine works for an animation production studio. So they produce video sequences and 3D animation, other animations for movies and games and so forth. And they control their render farms with Python. So they have 2 full-time Python programmers, last time I heard. And all they do is manage the Python code to manage the render farms. So they're not building any apps or anything with Python. They're just automating systems and maintaining the render farms. That's all. So for example, I think 3D Studio Max, which I think is right these days the most popular 3D software, I think it's automated through Python now, if I recall. It's been a while. So there's just one example of how Python is widely used, but not necessarily for app development. That being said, Python is also used for app development. All right, so I'm going to have to... all right, let's see what you got to say. I love this. Laugh out loud. This dude's coming here pretending to be some programming guru again. Yeah, I'm pretending. Hey, can you even code at all? No, not one line. Your entire has zero showcase of your coding. Your entire has zero. My entire what? Has zero. Well, I got about 300 videos where I'm teaching people how to write code, highly detailed code. Noob. What language allows you to create phone, desktop, web applications, run on front end and back end, destroy the same Superman, and get Wonder Woman pregnant? Is JavaScript, and it's keep evolving. There you go. There is no bracket in Python. That's confused me so much. Yeah, that's one thing I don't like about Python. I'm right there with you. The fact that they use carriage returns and white space to delineate code blocks is just a disaster. I don't like it. That's where the IDEs come in very handy, because they help you to see that much more clearly. I much prefer brackets and curly braces, personally. But that's just a personal taste thing. I'm interested in making full-time income from web design. I am creative and artistic. What language or packages do you recommend? I would do my web stack course. Link below. There's coupon below for you. And try it out. 30-day money-back guarantee. Do the web stack course. That's where you're going to be able to express your artistic capabilities much more so with web design, front-end design. Yeah, that's what I would suggest. Salut! I am learning Babel and Webpack. Talk something about it in general. I've never used Babel, and I don't know Webpack, so I have no problem. I have no comment on that. And Kit, Java versus Kotlin. I'll say this. I'll say that Google now prefers Kotlin for Android development. I think for business reasons. I think Google and, Google and Oracle got into some legal battles. That said, Kotlin's a much more productive. It's a nimbler language than Java. So depends what you're doing, you know. I think sucking at coding is me, not the courses. If I started learning programming today, what advice would you have for me? Take your time. Software development is an error-prone process, meaning you're going to make mistakes. Try to do at least 20 minutes a day, and just keep working at it, and you'll start having these aha moments, you know? Hi, Stefan. I'm looking for an idea for first project with Python. Total newbie wants to build something for the portfolio. Thanks for suggestions. What I would do is I would go out there and find some freelance work in the Python world and just do something for free and let the market dictate. So what happens there is you get the benefits of both building a portfolio item with real world coding, and you get a project to do. I'll give you an idea off the top of my head, though. Build a basic web app where your Python code scrapes the web for weather reports around the world. Not that it's not very functional, I suppose, because you can just do that with Google, right? Or maybe do that with find a pizzeria in different parts of the world. I don't know, something like that. Hi, so what's the difference between jQuery and React? A lot. They overlap in some areas. I don't know. Spend an hour learning jQuery and then spend an hour learning React, and you'll see some of the difference there. Is JavaScript a good choice for mobile app development? When it comes to mobile development, I'm a big proponent of cross-platform solutions, so JavaScript fits into that. Is it possible to make a living off making Wix websites? I think so, because I've seen job listings, Mr. Morgan, where they're offering, just go to Indeed.com, they're offering to pay people 60, 70 grand a year USD to build Wix sites. So yes, I think it is very probable. Hi, Stefan. I had zero experience in programming, and thanks to your advice, I was able to land a full-stack web developer job after a little over a year of learning to code. Congratulations. Congratulations. Fantastic. We're getting that almost daily now. Every time we stream, somebody else has landed a job or started a career, started freelancing. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good on you, man. Is data structure and algo is necessary to learn? Just the very, very basics. Very basics. Yeah, congrats. How long did the discount last? It'll be good for a week or two. So no major hurry there. Okay, I'm scrolling through questions here. Yep, mic is dope. Do you do any special sound tweaking and soundproofing? No, I'm going straight into the camera with the mic. The camera has an XLR in, so you go right into camera. So no processing whatsoever. And so this is my voice as it really is. The thing about this mic, it's very transparent. It's a very accurate representation of what I actually sound like. So what you hear is what you hear. What you hear is real. Don't freelance. Find something that people want but don't realize they want and build it. Well, that's the ultimate situation if you can do that. Do you just do raw SQL and PHP? Well, you can, but there are ORMs that people use. Like PHP or Laravel has an ORM. I think they all do, all the frameworks. But you're going to have to learn a little bit of raw SQL no matter what you do. First-person shooter, frames per second, first-person shooter. There you go, yeah. Do you read for joy or just to learn what's needed? When I was actively developing my skills as a developer, I was voracious. I used to spend $3,000 to $4,000 a year. That's back in the 90s, so that'd be more like $7,000, $8,000 a year in today's money, buying software development books. There wasn't online courses and so forth. I know, because I had one of the first online courses in the world back in 2000. what was it, 2002 or 3 or something? 2001 maybe. Anyway, whatever. And so I used to spend thousands of dollars a year learning because I really liked it. And, you know, I learned a lot, you know. So these days, I'm not an active coder. I run things. I keep up to date in certain things. But, you know, after a while, you have to choose whether you're going to do management or keep coding, you know. Hey, Stefan, I am 12 old. I know about 6 to 7 languages. Hey, very cool. Keep going, man. It's a good age, by the way. Sound and image are good, clear. All right, thanks. You put a lot of effort answering all questions. Dedication. I try. So I'm going to have to end this. Okay, over an hour now. Doing cybersecurity degree and started to learn Python here, hoping I can learn again after giving up on Java a few years ago. Python will be easier for you to learn. I am an introvert, but learning to communicate is extremely important. No matter how knowledgeable or skilled you are, it's all a waste if you can't communicate your expertise. I realized it the hard way. Exactly. You know, if you're introverted and great coder, but don't beat yourself up because your communication skills need work. There are people on the other end who have good communication skills, but they're having a hard time learning how to code. We all have our own challenges. You should check out, again, Lizard Wizard stuff below. That's going to help you a lot in that regard. All right, so I am going to... Speaking of Windows, I just got a 17-inch Dell XPS on sale, and that 4K screen is insane. Hey, very cool, man. Very cool. Yeah, this guy here. You have to ban this loser. What do you think about companies that discard candidates because of their years of experience? I've known people with around 5+ years experience, and I, with 2 years, need to fix the bugs they left. What do you think of companies that discard candidates because of their years of... I'm not sure. I'm not, Jose, I'm not sure if I quite understand your question. It's very common, though, to have to fix old code and bugs. In the reality of production software development is that in the reality of commercial software development, you have tight deadlines, and sometimes to get the product out, people cut corners. Very common. And then there's more tight deadlines, and these problems get compounded. So oftentimes you'll find messy code. That's just the reality of the situation. How can I get resume advice enrolled in your mentorship program? Email me. Email me directly. Also on the forum. Look through the guides. Look through a bunch of videos in the forum itself, in the private club forum. There's information there. And then email me with any questions you have. All right? We can also do an email review. If you hate PHP, try Laravel. You might dislike PHP, but you can't dislike PHP Laravel. Try it. Yeah, PHP Laravel is really, really good. All right. I think we're good for today. Over an hour. Of course, I was thinking I'm going to do half an hour. And of course, it lasts a lot longer. Biruk Bikele, I didn't say that right, I'm sure. First time here, I'm already regretting why I haven't found the channel earlier. I appreciate that. Thanks for joining. If you like my stuff, give me a thumbs up. Good for the algos. All right, guys. I'm going to clean up now. I have to head out. So, we'll say an hour and a half. Thanks for joining the stream. I hope it was useful. What's today? Today is Friday. I might do a weekend stream, but I doubt it because I have a private mentoring Zoom on Sunday. So if you're in any of the mentors, or the mentees rather, don't forget we have a Sunday afternoon Zoom meeting at the usual time. And yeah, I'll see you guys on Monday. I'm trying to do daily shows now. So, excuse me. I hope you found this useful. I wish I would have answered all your questions, but then I would have no life. So we'll talk soon. I hope everything is well. Take care of yourselves. And all right. One last, okay, guy got me a super chat. I always have to answer the super chats. She-Dog saying, good job while raising his thumb up. Hey, I appreciate that. Well, thanks, man. All right, coffee on Joshua. Super chat coffee is always the best coffee. All right, man. Yeah, have a beer. All right, we'll talk soon, guys. What happens when you love what you do? Laugh aloud. Thanks, Stefan. I'm doing this. This is kind of fun for me. All right, we'll talk soon. I'll end off with my ASMR video. I think you guys will like it.